Hey everybody, it's Frozen Jake back again, and today I'm going to be showing you 6 Geargia Karakuri combos that you should know. It's basically every single combo that you can really do in this deck, although you can do variations on that are probably a little more optimized, but these are the ones I've been doing. You can probably change them around for certain matchups, but here's something. All 6 of these combos will require this card, Geargia Armor, to be face down at the start of the turn. So, we're just going to start off with a pretty basic one that you're most likely going to be doing, because this one can happen over the course of a few turns of flipping armor up and down again, and just starting the turn with this. So we're going to start with our armor flipping up to grab our Geargia Accelerator, and we'll special summon them both. Overlay them for Geargia X, and then we detach. This allows us to search for our Nishipachi, flip armor back down, and normal the Nishipachi to flip it back up. This will allow you to search again, because it got flipped face up. Get another Accelerator, bring it out, and we start Synchro Summoning. I like to keep the Accelerator on the board in case my opponent, board wipes me. It's pretty nice to have it. So we bring out the copy of the Beret, which will summon a Saizan. So we're going to synchro those two off into Beredo. Then Beredo is going to summon another Karakuri from our deck. I'm going to summon a Saizan, and it's always in defense because I activate Beret, switch the battle position, and that lets you draw a card off of the Beret. So we basically just evened out in our cards in hand in the end, but we got so much board presence out of this combo. And this is an OTK, which all these combos are OTK combos. They're not really like, negation boards or anything like that. They don't do interruptions. This is to end the game. Your primary interruptions are your traps. Now, there is a downside of this combo. You're using all 3 accelerators at once, and that can really hurt. So just be wary. This is probably the combo you'll be able to do most often, but it's also your weakest. So you don't want to do this combo very much, as, losing your 3 accelerators sucks. But if you have no other ways to combo, then you just have to, which the other ways to combo will have us open, instead of Accelerator, we'll open either Tuners or the best card in the deck, Geargia Gear. But I'm gonna start us off with Geargia Gear, since this is probably our most high ceiling combo. So we're gonna set our Geargia. We have our Geargia Gear set and our armor set, and during the end phase, we're gonna flip up our Geargia Gear to summon 2 Geargianos, Mark 1 and Mark 2, and they're level 4 now. Now we start our turn and we flip summon armor. Add an Accelerator. Overlay these 2 for Geargia X. And we're going to detach. Now we could add ourselves Nishipachi here, but we're going to add our Gen X Ally Birdman. Special summon our Accelerator and bounce it back to summon Birdman. Special summon Accelerator. Flip armor back down, and we're going to Synchro Summon, banishing the Birdman because that's how Birdman works. Beret. Now we can summon our Nishipachi from the deck, and its mandatory effect triggers, flipping armor up, adding our second Accelerator. Summon the Accelerator, and now we're gonna synchro with our armor and our Nishipachi, go into a Beret, and then we can go ahead and use our Beret, summon a Saizan, synchro again, make Beredo, and then we can use Beredo to summon Saizan in defense. Even though we can't synchro with it, we can activate Beret to switch its battle position and draw a card off our Beredo. this is definitely the highest ceiling combo in the entire deck. And if you play Draco Sack, which I've been debating that, you can overlay these two if your OTK fails. Although the main reason I don't use Draco Sack is because most of the time when your OTK fails, one of these guys or both of them die. Although, if I had to replace something for it, I would probably replace the Daigusto Emerald. I haven't been finding myself going into it as much as of late. It's probably because I'm getting better at resource management. So I might slip that in after the Moral Attack monthly is over. But for now, I'm just playing none of that. Alright. So that's our highest ceiling combo in the entire deck out of the way. The rest of these are very conservative with your resources, which is very nice if it fails. But most of the time when you're doing these combos, it's because you're ending the game. So just keep that in mind. So don't just do them when you can. You want to do them when you're confident you'll end the game, which can take a few turns. Just gonna get these back in the deck. Alright, so the next combo, we're gonna deal with our Garnets, because, well, supposed Garnets. These cards I used to think were Garnets, but then I learned that you can actually use these for combos. Let's get the least... This one I didn't think was a Garnet, though, so we're gonna get this one out of the way. So we're gonna, of course, flip our armor, grab Accelerator, special summon it, flip this back down, normal, flip up armor, get another Accelerator and summon it. What this allows us to do is synchro into a Beret, then they would summon us a Sizan, and then we would summon Burrito, and then get another Sizan, switch it, its position, draw a card, and then make a level 8 synchro of our choice or rank 4 of choice. Alright, so now we're going to deal with what I used to think was a completely dead card to draw. Sizan. Basically, this thing just lets us do the exact same combo, but it's not exact same. There's a slight difference, but the end board, the ending part of it's just the exact same. So we're going to flip armor up, get Accelerator, summon it, summon Sizan, flip this down, and then you synchro summon the Burrito to get the Nishipachi, which will flip this up, get your other Accelerator, and then you just do the same combo from there. Alright, now here's another higher ceiling combo. Gen X Ali Birdman. This card's amazing, so I want to show you just what you can do with drawing this card. So we're going to flip summon our armor, of course, grabbing our Accelerator. We're always going to be doing that. Special summon the Accelerator, and then we're going to bounce it back for our Birdman. Summon Accelerator again, and flip this down. Synchro, banishing our Birdman. Go into the Beret. This would allow us to just do what we did before, getting the Nishipachi from the deck, flipping this up, getting Accelerator, summon the Accelerator, get another Beret, and then get the Burrito, and get a draw off that. But there's one more combo in this deck that has to do with our Garnets, and it's the last combo for the day. Let's see, I've shown you 5 combos so far, and this combo uses Geargia Mark II. Definitely the best Geargia to draw if you draw one, but the regular Geargia can suck to draw. But it's great to have engraved for these, since you can Black Rose if Sizan's engraved. So it's pretty nice, or you can just make a rank 3. Which, we only play one in this deck, which is Alucard, but... So we just flip summon this. Now, this combo can also be done if you have Accelerator in hand and you search for the Mark II. But I'd probably be doing this if I play Draco Sack, because this lets you end on a Draco Sack if your OTK fails. So we're going to go ahead and get our Accelerator, bring out the Accelerator, and we're going to overlay them into Geargia X. Detach the Geargia Accelerator, specifically. Very important. Then we're going to add Birdman. normal summon the Mark II, and summon the Accelerator. Then we get to do my favorite interactions, bounce the Accelerator for the Birdman, and summon the Accelerator again. Now we can synchro these two off for Beret. Summon Saizan, and then we can synchro these two. We can then bring out our Beret and summon out a Saizan. And this would also be an OTK, but the main reason this could be preferred over the Accelerator combo, one, you only used a single Accelerator, which is super conservative with your resources, which is amazing. Having the ability to conserve your resources like that's great. Second, this combo ends on 2 level 7s, which if your OTK fails, you can just make a Draco Sack. So I do like this combo, and this is the main reason why I'm thinking of making the Draco Sack in the deck, because either of these two, which we play 3 of each, that's very consistent, and plus it's also a combo that we can do just flipping Geargia Armor up multiple times, which I think is great. So I think that's the main reason I would probably swap in for a Draco Sack, and I'm probably going to be doing that, as I have found myself relying less and less on my Emerald. I haven't been needing the recycling as much. But there's another card I would replace. Honestly, it would probably be Stardust, because Stardust is something I just never make, if I'm going to be honest. Normally I just take preventative measures and just pop the board with Scrap Dragon, or just the sheer floodgating power of Crimson Blader is really good, or, you know, Burrito's draw power. So Stardust is like the most lackluster, which really just goes to show how strong the synchros are in this deck. But I'm probably just going to remove the Emerald. So that's all 6 of the combos that I wanted to show you today, and I am hoping that you've learned how to play this deck very well, because honestly I think it's a very powerful deck for hat format, and I think that as hat format grows in popularity, we might see more Time Wizard events, and that means building decks in paper. There's another advantage this deck has over a lot of other hat decks. It's so cheap, like so incredibly cheap. Like, I built a slightly higher rarity version and it was still 40 bucks. And those extra 10 bucks is mostly like shipping for all these all these high rarities. It's more around like 30 bucks. And this is including the side deck for Geargias. Like, it's 30 or 40. It's actually super cheap. Like, the only expensive cards in this deck, really, are Exciton Knight and Alucard. But Alucard can be swapped out for Zen Mains or Soul of Silver Mountain if you really want. And then the rest, most of the cards are like, you know, $0.25, $1 at most. So, and the Geargia cards are all like a dime or a penny. So, the deck is super cheap, and not just that, it allows you to, you know, play one of the best decks in the format. Because my performance so far in the Mortal Attack Monthly is that I'm 2-2. I won the matchups where people didn't have cards specifically to kill Geargias, or built a deck specifically to kill Geargias. So against the decks that weren't specifically trying to kill my deck, I won. And that's just because the sheer OTK potential of this build is amazing, and its grind game is not too bad. And honestly, the Draco Sack combos are pretty... I'm honestly really, really tempted to play the Draco Sack just because of how little it uses our accelerators, which is honestly one of the main reasons I want to do it. But that's all I really wanted to talk about today. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you all will, one, pick up hat format, 2, I hope that you join the Hat Alliance Discord, as the Mortal Attack Monthly it's been really fun to play in so far, and the people there are mostly nice. And also, if you have Time Wizard events at your locals, try to convince them to play Hat, and you can pick up a deck like this, or just any deck really, but this is probably one of the cheaper decks in the format. Anything that doesn't do artifacts is pretty cheap, to be honest, but this one's definitely one of the cheapest ones out there, just because of everything just costing so little. Like, all the engine cards are so cheap. It's just insane. Anyways, this has been Projan Jake, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.